Hey guys, so today we are going to be talking about robots and about shapes. So first, before we can get to Mr. Robot, we're going to be talking a little bit about the shapes. And there are two different types of shapes we're going to talk about today. One is called geometric shapes, and the other is called organic shapes. So first, for geometric shapes, these are shapes such as circles, squares, triangles, rectangles, half circles, and even stars. And what makes these shapes geometric is these are man-made shapes. These are shapes that have very perfect straight edges. They have corners. If I were to cut these shapes in half, they're going to be the same on each side. So if I split my circle in half, it's going to be the same on each. Same thing with my rectangle or my half circle. They're going to be the same on each side. So these are shapes that we're not going to find in nature. These are shapes that man makes. But the other type that we're going to learn about is called organic shapes. And you may have heard the word organic before when we've talked about groceries. But organic basically means that these are going to be natural shapes. Shapes that are not man-made. We can find these in nature. So it might be a puddle outside, a leaf, a raindrop, a foot, or a random shape that you draw. What's different than these shapes compared to geometric shapes is that they're not going to have perfectly straight sides. They're going to be maybe a little bit more curved or wavy. If I were to cut them in half, they're not going to be the same on each side. One side might be a little bit bigger or a little bit curvier than the other side. So there are more shapes that we would find if I went outside and picked a leaf rather than if I drew a perfect square, okay? So with that, our two types of shapes that we've learned about, we're going to use examples of these shapes to create our robots. So for our robots, we're typically going to think about geometric shapes, such as like rectangles or squares or circles, but we can also include some organic shapes in there to make it kind of your own. So to start our robot, I'm going to start thinking about some different shapes for the body. So even though I already have one here, I'm going to make another robot on this side. I'm going to set this one, and I'm going to make my new one here. You can also, if you want to do a hunt around your house, look for objects that could help you in creating your robot, such as squares, so for like these little boxes. My glue stick is perfect for making little circles. A cup or a mug would be great for tracing bigger circles. I even found an Uno card, which is great for a rectangle. And there's lots of shapes I'm sure you can find around your house that you could use if you want help drawing some of these shapes for our robot. So to start my robot's body, I'm going to go ahead and draw a rectangle shape. So the difference between kind of a rectangle and a square would be that a square, all four sides are the same. Whereas a rectangle, two sides are going to be long and then two sides are going to be short. So I think I'm going to make a tall robot. So in the middle of my paper, I'm going to make a nice tall rectangle. Now I'm putting it in the middle of my paper because I need to leave room for whatever kind of legs I'm going to give him and then also for his head. Now for my robot's head, I think I'm going to make him a square head. So I'm actually going to use my box here to trace and make his little square head. Now I need to attach his head to his body. So we're going to create a kind of neck. So I'm going to use two lines to connect his neck or his head and his body. Then I kind of want to think about some extra things that I could put on him. So he definitely needs some type of legs, but robots, some can have legs, some could have wheels. Really, your imagination can create anything you want for your robot. So I think for mine, I'm going to use my cup to make a small, well, or a medium-sized circle. And then I'm going to connect it by using 2 lines. So he's just going to roll around on a big wheel. So I want to make it look like a wheel. So I'm going to draw a smaller circle, and then I'm going to draw some lines to make it look kind of like a bicycle wheel. And then I'm going to draw some more lines here for little stripes for that piece that's kind of connecting his wheel to his body. Then I want to think about his arms. So I could have his arms just kind of down and out to the side. I could have one arm kind of up like he's waving. But again, I want to think about the shapes. Do I need triangles? Do I need rectangles? Do I need circles? What kind of arms do you want for him? So I think for mine, I'm going to make a half circle. So I just make a half circle by kind of drawing like a U shape, or like what I call a rainbow line on each side. So that's going to be kind of like his shoulders. Okay. And then I'm going to make one arm is going to go up, because I'm going to make him a happy robot. So he's going to be waving, and I think he should have a triangle hand. I'm going to draw a big triangle. So one arm is going to be up like he's waving, and then one arm is going to be just down at his side. Again, I'm going to make it a triangle hand. There we go. All right, and then I want to think about his face. What things could I add to his face? So I think I'm gonna add some more triangles on the side here, almost like he's got ears. Triangle ears. And then, oh, you know what? I'm gonna use my glue stick to draw 2 of his eyes. So I'm gonna trace my glue stick to make 2 circles for his eyes. Perfect. And then I'm gonna go ahead and draw the inside part of the eyes for him. And again, you can make these eyes however you want. If you want it to be, you can make it a girl robot too, if you wanted. I'm gonna make my robot with some cutie eyes. And then I'm gonna make him kind of a box smile. There we go. And then maybe I'm gonna make him have some little wires or little bolts coming off the top of his head. Or, oh, better yet, they look like antennas. Okay, so now I also can think about, well, what do I need to put in the middle of my robot? He's robotic, so how is he going to run? So I might put some little knobs or little buttons that might be on the front of my robot that are gonna help make him run and work. All right, so I just kind of added some extras. If you want to add any other pieces onto your robot, go for it. Now, once my robot is done, I want to go ahead and color him. And when we're in class, you know, we always like to outline so things can stand out. So I might take a black marker or a black crayon and outline my robot's body first. So I'm going to take my black marker and I'm going to go ahead and outline all of my lines that I made before I colored him in. All right, now once you've outlined your robot, now we want to go for color. So a lot of times when we think about robots, we think about them being like made of different types of metal, whether it's silver or whether it's some type of gold or bronze, so or copper. So you can color your robot whatever you want. If you want a pink and purple robot, go for it. If you want a silver and gold robot, perfect. If you want a red and black robot, fine. You pick whatever colors you might like for your robot to go ahead and make them. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys had fun finding those shapes and using our shapes to create our robot. And I can't wait to see what you create.